All right, now we can get this show cracking. What's going on, everybody? I'm Dom. Welcome to Dom and Gonz Sports Talk. I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We're gonna get right into it here. A lot to unpack as we all. Before we even start, Happy Mother's Day to all. Wishing all the mothers a great, wonderful day. Hope you all are enjoying it. But first, now we get down to the schedule release. As we all know, every single team had their schedule released on Thursday. A lot to unpack, about our opponents, our games. Guys, I know you're just excited to kick this off as I am. Give our predictions for the 2023 season. How hyped are you for the season after seeing the schedule?
Yeah, well, first of all, my apologies. We took a week off last week. I'm glad we're back. Had to take care of some things. And ran even a few minutes late tonight. I was taking care of some Mother's Day festivities. Once again, to another Happy Mother's Day wish to all the people, mother figures or mothers out there. I'm glad we're back to normal, back on the normal schedule. And like Dom just said, yeah, let's get it. The schedule was dropped on Thursday. All 32 teams know exactly when and where they're playing for all 17 of their games. It just gets you excited, just gets you real excited for football season. Even though we're still a few more months away, we just can't wait for it. It excites us as fans to see, how many primetime games we're getting, who we're playing week one, how we stack up. And now that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to make our way too early season predictions for this 2023 Baltimore Ravens squad. And I'm excited. I can't wait. Why don't we get right into it, Dom? Unless you have any last remarks.
Oh, no, man. I'm ready. Let's get right into it. I'm having some technical difficulties on my side pulling up the schedule and my partial notes here. So I'm just going to, until I can get back on, I'm just going to sit here and just give my short synopsis verbally off the dome.
That's fine, yeah.
So first opponent, we all know we have the Texans at home. Now, have the Texans gotten better since the last season? Yes. I mean, their quarterback is better. They just got a new pass rusher. I mean, I feel like the Texans had a really good draft, but as we all know, it's the Texans. As much as the Texans got better, the Ravens got just as better. We have our quarterback. We have our receiving core. I mean, I'm expecting that game for the Ravens to come into the first game and assert their dominance at home. Week one, just to let everybody know what the business is. I'm predicting a W. I think that's a W week one. I'm glad we start off with a simple opponent that we're partially familiar with in the past. Last time we faced them, they had Deshaun Watson. We still made quick work of them when they had Watson. Stroud, I mean, he's a different. I don't have too much film study on Stroud to even really know, like, hey, who knows? I mean, he could be a beast week one. I don't know yet. It depends on how much chemistry he builds throughout this summer to get the workouts in. But I'm predicting a really great game for Baltimore week one against the Texans.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it real short and sweet. You can't lose to Houston week one at the bank. This better be a win by at least 17. This is a great opportunity for Todd Monken's offense. And by the way, this would actually be the debut of Todd Monken's new offense. What a great way to start off. No excuse here to go out and dominate, air it out, get these receivers involved, run the ball when needed, use JK. Defensively, rookie quarterback, you know how we do. Get after him, make him uncomfortable. This will be his first career start for Stroud in the NFL. Let's make him, let's make it one to remember in the worst way. Just suffocate him. Make him uncomfortable. Typically Ravens have done pretty good against rookie quarterbacks over the years. Look what they did against Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's first start against Baltimore. Sacked him 8 times. Blew him out. Shut him out, actually. Well, they kicked a field goal at the end, but that's the kind of effort.
Might as well call it a shutout.
Yeah. We've always done pretty well against rookie quarterbacks. Ravens win this one at home by a large margin.
I agree. All right, week 2. We're at Cincinnati. We're taking on our long rivals for the past couple of years, Cincinnati Bengals, at Cincy Stadium. I have mixed emotions about this game for multiple reasons. One, as much as I want to say back in the day we made quick work of the Bengals, because we did. This is a different generation of Bengals, with their talented wide receiver core, the talented quarterback. We all know Joe Shiesty. But I mean, I think what a lot of people don't understand is when we play the Bengals is that we keep it close. With Lamar, we keep it close. I mean, the first game last year, we beat them, was it like 36, something like that? It was a pretty close game.
You saying last year or what?
Yeah, last year.
Last year we
played
them in Baltimore on Sunday night, week 5. I think the final score was 19-17. It actually wasn't that high scoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
But at that point, I mean, we keep it close with them either way. And then I know when we have Lamar, we have a chance. So I think we take Bengals week 1. I mean, they're our first encounter week 2, just to let them know, like, hey, man, we're the king of the North. I mean, we got Lamar back. This is a healthy squad. And we got to show them that last year they probably wouldn't have won that game if Lamar was in the game, in the playoffs. So I think Ravens take it week 2. I think we have a real good shot at competing with the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals lost the defensive piece in Jesse Bates. I mean, of course, they try to get better throughout the draft, but who knows how those picks are going to turn out. But, I mean, history has shown that they only blow us out when we don't have a full squad. And I think when we play them with a full squad, I think we have the upper hand with a healthy Lamar with a monkey on his back ready to, like, prove the haters wrong. So I got Ravens taking a week 2 and a close one.
Okay, well, I completely forgot to go over a couple disclaimers before we started this. We kind of just got excited and jumped right in. So a couple things before we continue. Now, first of all, these are our opinions. By no means are we taking facts. This is simply our opinions for what's going to happen. And do I think I'm trying to be as reasonable and, trying to be as real life as possible, not just be a Ravens homer. So by no means, if I pick a loss, for example, that's not me saying, oh, the Ravens are 100% going to lose. Again, this is my opinion and prediction. So if I predicted the Houston Texans, or for example, that they're going to lose this game, by no means do I think they have no chance of winning. Again, this is just my prediction, well, and Dom's prediction as well. So don't bash me about that, okay? So that being said, we can continue with picks. Week 2, like we said, at the Bengals Stadium, 1:00 p.m. game. I'm kind of shocked that one's at 1:00. I think the Ravens lose this one. Now that's not to say they won't go in and win, because we know how it goes. I'm picking a loss for this one, just because I don't know how Todd Monken's offense is going to gel. This is week 2, right? We don't know if they're going to just come out firing and clicking on all cylinders. It might take some time. And, the Bengals are just going to be clicking on offense for the most part. I think they will, because they're going to have the same squad. Can this defense hold up against them? Yes, history showed they've done a good job recently. In the playoff game, they did a phenomenal job. But this is regular season. It's different. I think the Ravens keep it close, but the Bengals pull this one out 27-24, or maybe even worse. It could be 27-17. Now, I'm hoping the Ravens prove me wrong and they go and blow them out, but it's too early in the year for me to think that Todd Monken's offense is just going to be, clicking on all cylinders at this point. It's going to take them a little bit of time. So right now, for me, the Ravens are 1-1. Ravens are 2-0 for Dom. As we shift gears to week 3, September 24th, we got another home game at the bank against Anthony Richardson and the Indianapolis Colts. Okay? Why don't I start with this one? This one, again, not as easy as the Texans should be, in my opinion, but this should be another handled dub for the Ravens. Again, a rookie quarterback, and I know these are top 5 picks, and they could come out and shock the world, but again, this would be Anthony Richardson's, even if he just starts, this would be only his 3rd game. He's not even guaranteed to be starting at week 1. We don't know if the Texans are going to use back to the Texans. We don't know if they're going to go with Davis Mills or the Colts go with a veteran. Either way. But whoever plays quarterback we need to beat these teams, okay? Starting with the Texans and now to the Colts. They were not good teams last year. We're at home. This roster's too good. And even with some hiccups on offense, I still think we pull this one out pretty handily by at least 10. I would say maybe 24-10, 28-14, something like that, multiple scores. Yeah, so I think the Ravens go 2-1 here, winning those 2 home games.
Okay, you brought up a good point because we don't know who that starter is going to be in the beginning of the season. Now, will they go with Andy Dalton to begin the season?
Colts have Andy Dalton?
The Colts do have Andy Dalton, yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
And
so
we all know what Andy Dalton does to Baltimore sometimes, or used to.
Yeah. If Andy Dalton is starting by that time, barbecue chicken, man. Barbecue chicken. I don't really I'm not scared of Andy Dalton if he's starting. I'm not gonna lie to you. Now, if Richardson's starting, I think that gives the Colts a new dynamic. I think it could, especially be knowing that Richardson, he's not really a traditional pocket passer. He likes to scramble, kind of like Lamar does. I don't know if he can do it as good as Lamar can, but as far as this game, again, you're right. It just depends on who's starting at quarterback. I think Richardson could maybe give us a little more trouble than Dalton could from a standpoint of he's a dual threat. So I'm going to give 2 predictions based off this. If the Colts are starting Andy Dalton, I agree with you 100%. We're up by we're at multiple scores, and we should be able to handle the Colts pretty easily. Now, if Richardson is starting, based on what I've seen off film so far from his mini camps, the rookie mini camps that he's had, I think that game it might be one of those games where we start off good, and he could start to pick it up later in the game and try to attempt to make a comeback. I think he tries to make the game close. So I feel like we're good if it's Dalton. We can have a little trouble if it's Richardson. But I still feel like we can still handle business. I think we're good with the Colts. So I think we're going 3-0 in the first 3 games.
That's good. And back to what you just to piggyback what you're saying, I actually feel the opposite. I feel like having Dalton back there would give them a better chance to keep it close than a young rookie quarterback. Even though he does bring that element of, scrambling and, your speed at the quarterback position, I would rather play a raw rookie just starting. This will be only his 3rd game if he starts week 1.
If he starts, yeah, exactly.
I would rather play the rookie because he would be way more prone to making mistakes. And he's a veteran. Although he may not be super effective at this point in his career, he definitely could get some points on the board, as we saw as the quarterback of the New Orleans Saints last year. But either way, I still think we take the dub. I think it's worse to go against what you said I think the score is more in our favor if Anthony Richardson starts.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So let's move on to game 4. Who do we got?
Week 4, October 1st, a start of a long road game stretch. Well, a 3-game road game stretch. October 1st, 1 p.m. at Cleveland Browns. And this one's interesting to me because these next 2 games are actually road games with the division. So I think the Ravens are going to drop one of these. And again, this is just my thoughts. I think they're going to win next week, which would be Pittsburgh. So basically, if they were to win this one, the Cleveland Browns, then they would probably lose in Pittsburgh next week, or vice versa. If they lost to the Browns, then they're going to win in Pittsburgh this week. My choice, I think they drop one in Cleveland. Just for reasons being, I don't know why. We keep it way too close with these Browns. And I know we are better than the Browns in a lot of different aspects, but this team just somehow just finds ways to shoot themselves in the foot when they play the Browns. Whether that be untimely turnovers, silly penalties, dumb mistakes on offense, it just keeps the Browns close. You look back to 2022 when we played the Browns the first time in Baltimore. We were running away with that game, 20-10, and then the defense can't get a stop, drives down, get an easy score. Ravens running out the clock, and they cough up the ball. Justice Hill coughs up the ball. Browns recover, and here they are in business. We just need to be able to put these guys away. I think this roster is better than the Browns roster currently as it is. I know it's only May, but and us signing Rock Yassin a couple weeks ago shores up the secondary. I just think we're all around better than them, and we need to just, prove it. But I know that we struggle to do that sometimes, and this team has our number usually at least once per year. And usually on the road. We haven't won in Cleveland for a little while now. I think the last time we won in Cleveland was that crazy Monday Night Football game in 2020 where Lamar just ran all over the place and the running game just exploded. But I don't see anything changing with that. I think we dropped this one. Probably another close game, an ugly game. I think this one will probably be something nasty like 17-14, 20-14, something good. But I think the Ravens have a chance to win this, but an untimely turnover at the end makes us drop this one.
Okay. I think with this game, it's a little, like you said, it's a weird feeling with this one. And I agree with you 100%. I don't know why with the Browns sometimes it seems as though we can't get it, like we can't like fully be clicking on all cylinders. But Deshaun Watson hasn't really been scaring me when he came back. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, he hasn't been the Deshaun Watson that we've known with the Texans, who was literally throwing dots with one eye in that one game. Like, he struggled when he came back. Obviously, he has an excuse because he was suspended for those first, like, however many so games. But I don't know. I mean, I don't really see how the Browns, like, compete with us at this point with Lamar. Like, I mean, we've made short work of Watson before, and he's had good rosters before. Like, the Texans roster that he had when they were making that run, I mean, it wasn't terrible, like, with Hopkins and those guys. I think you're right. I think this one gets a little grit and grindy. I think this one's going to be not our best game, but I feel like we pull it out in a close one only because, like, we got an axe to grind with the Browns because they did beat us in that. It was the second game of the season last year that we played them in our second divisional matchup where they got us. I don't think we leave that one without a W, especially with the fact that, again, Lamar's back. He kind of changes that dynamic that we had last year because we were running with Huntley that game. So I think more plays can be made at that point. So I think we pull it out in a close one. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. It's going to probably come down to a Justin Tucker field goal to get us the win, as it usually does for the bad games. But I think we pull this one out 2017, and Ravens go 4-0 to start the year off.
I'd love that. I hope you're right. Man, I hope you're right.
All right. Well, we're looking like for week 5.
All right. So week 5, we have October 8th at 1 p.m., a trip to Acrisure Stadium to take on those nasty Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, like I said, I think they're going to drop one of these two games, and I picked the Browns a loss, so therefore I'm going to pick this one as a dub. I think they go in and they take care of Pittsburgh. This, again, same thing as the Browns. They are better than the Steelers, but they keep them in the game every time they play, and they most usually fritter it away. They held on in Pittsburgh last year with Anthony Brown at quarterback. They squeaked out a 60-14 win. But then Sunday Night Football on New Year's Day, they fritter away a lead again. Went into halftime, up 10-3, ended up losing that game, 16-13, I believe. They just got to put points on the board and put these teams away. The Ravens have the knee on their throat on the throat of their opponent in all their matchups, and they just have 50-50 chance half the time they failed it and the opponent, and that is something that's got to change this year if this team wants to achieve their ultimate goal. They got to put the foot down and end these games when they have their opponent knee throat on the ground ready to get finished. They got to do that. So I think the Ravens go ahead and win this game. And another thing you did bring up when you were talking about the Week 4 game, triggered me an extra point, or triggered a point that I should bring up. Lamar Jackson was not present for a lot of those losses when we were winning the game, or even that second Browns loss when we screwed around on offense with Tyler Huntley and lost 13-3 to Deshaun Watson. Because you're right, Watson was not effective and I don't really fear him. I just fear ourselves making silly mistakes against these teams. So, yeah, I get that. So if Lamar stays healthy, I could definitely see us winning those, maybe both of these. But just for prediction's sake, I think we'd pull it out in Pittsburgh. If Lamar plays, we score way more than 16. I think we can actually dominate this. I really do. Because, I mean, I know the Steelers have had Lamar's number, but I think this year with these good receivers or upgraded receivers, what we have, we can put points on the Steelers D, and I say we can take this game 28-17.
I agree. I think we take this one as well, only because I feel like if my mindset with the Steelers is we drop them the first game we play, and then I think the Steelers most likely take it in that second bout at the end of the year. I mean, again, like these guys haven't been putting up points on us. Like, the Steelers didn't beat us by that much. You know what I mean? And like, no, we didn't put up the points. That's because we didn't have our starting quarterback in the lineup.
Yeah.
Now that Lamar is back, I think that the Steelers have much more to deal with now than they did with Huntley on the field. Not saying Huntley's not effective, because obviously he's gotten us wins before. Shout out to Tyler Huntley again for, being that fill-in guy that we've always needed, because, he's come up clutch in a lot of situations, especially in that win against the Broncos. Shout out to Huntley. But I mean, with Lamar there, like, you just don't I don't think they can stop him. Like, in my opinion, like not a Lamar who's coming off season that we just came off of. I think like we get rid of the Steelers early, and then they probably drop us in that last game of the season. Hopefully, it's not a determining game late, for playoff contention and things like that. But other than that, yeah, I think we make quick work of the Steelers in the first meeting. So I got us 5-0 to start off. I think we start off hot. I think we start off hot at the beginning of the year.
Let's get a quick shout out for Dom right now. Ravens starting 5-0. Oh my God.
I think we start off hot. Not all these wins are going to be pretty, ladies and gentlemen. So don't quote me saying we're going to blow all these guys out. But I'm saying, like, with the team that we have now, I think we finish more games now. We come in with a different mindset, especially with a different offensive scheme. So, yes, I'm saying we will start off hot. But, there's always later in the schedule to cool down a little bit. So as we go on.
Early. I love it. I love if we grind out these games and not be our best team yet. That's great. That's great. All right, should we move on to week 6?
Week 6. So we got
6. Go ahead.
Who's our opponent going to be? I'm still having trouble pulling it up.
Oh, I think you're about to say it. My bad. Week 6, we've got our trip across the ocean, and we are going to the United Kingdom, London, to take on the Tennessee Titans, our most vicious rival since man. Now this game, we already hate the Titans already, but they are down a little bit. I don't want to say they're down bad, but they're down a little bit bad right now. I mean, let's be honest. They are missing some wide receivers. They do not have good help at wideout. Derrick Henry sounded like he was on the trade bubble for a while. Tannehill is their quarterback, but we'll see if he makes it this far. This is week 6. I know they drafted Will Levis. Will we see Will Levis? I hope we do, because if we see Will Levis, we're blowing them out.
Barbecue chicken.
If we get Will Levis on the field as our opponent, we are going to win by a lot. Okay?
By a lot.
That good. I'm sorry. I think we blow them out if Will Levis plays. Because again, Tannehill is a veteran, little savvy vet. He can keep them in the game, make some quick throws. He's been on Tennessee for a while. Containing Derrick Henry might be a challenge for our run D. Our run D needs to show up that game. And we need to pressure the quarterback, because Tennessee's offensive line has been very strong, very weak the past few seasons. Not accustomed to what they used to be. They used to be a dominant offensive line back in 2019, 2020. Tannehill's getting hit and banged up a lot last year and 2021 and 22. He's been hit a lot. One of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league. So we need to get after whoever's playing quarterback and take advantage of that. And I know they drafted some offensive linemen, but still, they're going to be rookies. Get after them. Turn the guys loose. Ojabo off the edge. Put Matabike in the middle. Use our rookies, Tavius Robinson, all of them. Let's get after them. Let's pressure them, and let's get this win. And their defense is looking a little bit worse as well. They lost a couple guys. I can't remember who they lost, but a lot of people in the secondary are not there anymore. So go get after them. Get after them. I think the Ravens can win this game and avenge their disastrous 2017 debut in London when they got destroyed by Jacksonville. Ravens take this and improve to 4-3. Or
Yeah, that.
sorry, 4-2 for me. 4-2
Yeah,
for me.
that 2017 game was a memory I'm sure everyone would want to forget. A little biased here, a little biased. I hope we thrash the Titans. And this is just, and I know I'm a little biased here. I know, I get it. But man, it would feel good to thrash the Titans week 6 in London at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, by the way. But you're absolutely right. I feel as though we can take care of the Titans no problem.
Yeah.
Especially because their quarterback controversy. We don't know who's going to start or what the heck's going to happen. Rumor has it they've given up on Malik Willis. I don't know if that's a sure fact or not. I mean, I don't see how you give up on him already when he hasn't really had a full opportunity to show you what he can actually do. I mean, maybe it's a training camp thing. I'm not entirely sure. We don't know if we're going to see Will Levis this season. If Tannehill struggles, maybe they make that shift. I mean, we've seen quarterbacks come in and turn a franchise around in an instant. So, I mean, who knows what could happen. But I think we make quick work of the Titans. I'm predicting this one's probably going to be by multiple scores, how it ends up. Lamar could probably take a seat early in this one, probably in the 4th. We bring in Huntley or whoever to finish it off. Because, I mean, at this point, like the Titans, I mean, their roster they don't have any dynamic weapons, man. Like they don't have anybody. I mean, Henry, of course, is Derrick Henry, but like we've proven before that we can stop Henry. Like we've stopped Henry before. If that's the only thing that we have to stop, I don't see how the Titans win this game. So I mean, unless they make any major improvements or any of the receivers or whoever else they have on that roster makes a big shift in their talent or levels of competing, I don't see how they win this game. I really don't. So I got us making quick work of the Titans, and we're 6-0 to kick it off.
Oh my gosh, man. Love it. Love it. All right. So Dom is at 6-0. Gonz is at 4-2. Man, I'm hope your prediction sounds like I hope they don't peak too early. So week 7, we'll move on. We've got 1:00 date at the bank versus the Detroit Lions, the new and improved Detroit Lions, who surprised everyone last year by sweeping the Green Bay Packers. Unbelievable. That hasn't happened in I don't even know how long. Has it ever happened? I don't even know.
I don't know. Rodgers has owned that division for so long. Yeah. It's like I don't like now that he's gone. It's weird, but
yeah. Detroit Lions. This could be a potential trap game where the Lions could come in there and beat us, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Ravens take care of business here in a high-scoring game, 31-28. I think the Lions' offense can move the ball effectively on Baltimore. Yes, they almost snuck up and beat us in 2021. We needed a 66-yard NFL record field goal by Justin Tucker to pull out that dub, which was very concerning. I'm like, oh my gosh, if we can't beat this team. That team started out 0-10, by the way. So yeah, I wasn't feeling too good at that point. But this year, the Lions are a completely different story. They're in the conversation to win the NFC North now with the Packers, assumingly going to be downgraded without Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, I think the Lions offense has done a good job. Dan Quinn has got that team. No, not Dan Quinn. What's the guy's name? The coach.
Oh, damn. Campbell. Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell.
Not Quinn. That's the Falcons guy. Now Cowboys coordinator. Dan Quinn has got that offense moving now. Like they have a good rhythm to it. St. Brown has established himself as a pretty good wide receiver. Almost great, probably. If he can dominate again, I could say he's one of the greats in each season. Goff has done his thing. And I know they traded away their running backs, but they drafted, I forget his name.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, at number 7 or 8 overall. And, yeah, they've got their guy at running back now. Look out. This team could make some noise in the NFC, but not on the 22nd of October. Ravens take this one 31-28 in a high-scoring shootout.
You ready for this one?
What do you think?
I think the Ravens lose this one.
Could happen.
I think if we're gonna drop one in the first half of the season, this might be the game to do it.
At home against the
Uh,
Lions. Okay.
at home against the Lions. And my reasoning for that being is because, I mean, like you said yourself, the Lions have been a very high-powered offense. We haven't seen the Lions this high-powered in Lord knows when. Goff is like getting all the confidence in the world from his team, from his coach, so he's feeling it, especially after last year, after they knocked out the Green Bay Packers from the playoffs last year. I mean, I can see these guys definitely setting. You said it's a trap game. I think we're gonna fall for that trap. I think they kind of win in a close one. But I think it might be due to, like you said before, one of our timely errors that we like to do in games. I don't know if Tucker's saving us from this one. I got a 6-1, I guess, after falling to the Lions in a close one.
Okay, before we move on to Week 8, I just want to make a quick note. I'm assuming that the Todd Monken offense is going to get off to a decent start. It might take them 2 weeks to get on track, but I think by Week 3, they should be feeling pretty good, moving with some rhythm. That's my assumption when I'm making these picks. Just throwing that out there. Now, I hope that it doesn't take them 5 weeks or 6 weeks to get in rhythm, because then that might spell for a rocky first part of the year. But I think we should be okay. I don't think it should take that long for the Ravens to, gel on offense. Yeah. All right. So anyway, they got the whole summer to do that. Week 8, we've got a date at 4:25 p.m. on the 29th of October against the Arizona Cardinals at their stadium in Arizona. So, did you see the tweet that the Cardinals made about the Ravens and Lamar running back?
Yeah, we're coming in this one hot. Yeah, we're coming in this one hot.
Engraved Vids, one of my favorite YouTubers. He said we're gonna curb stop this team. Lamar's gonna absolutely go off, possibly a Jackson 5. I completely agree. I think the Ravens go in there and take care of business. I don't think Kyler Murray plays. He's still recovering from an ACL, so they're gonna be rocking with Colt McCoy or whoever they got at quarterback. And this game is not close. I think this game could potentially be, since it's only Week 8, the best offensive performance yet of the season. So far, I think we win 38-10. Arizona Cardinals are out of this game from the start, and we take care of business and put a statement out there.
Yeah, there's no explanation needed from me. We need to go in there. We need to stop them, especially after the Twitter thing. No explanation needed. We go in there. We take care of it. Lamar goes off for a Jackson 75. I don't really care what he does. I just, at this point, especially because the Cardinals were so bad last year, even when Murray was on the field, I don't really have much confidence in them right now until they show me something. So at this point, I'm 7-1.
I'd love to see Hollywood Brown make some wide open drops too, so I could laugh at him. All right, that was quick. All right, moving on. Week 9, we're in November now, so it's starting to get a little colder. We got a 1 p.m. date at the bank with the Seattle Seahawks. Ooh, this was interesting. Another team on the uprise. Geno Smith obviously revived his career back last year with the Seahawks, giving himself that deal to stay in Seattle. They draft JSN out of the, at pick number, I don't remember, it was like 12 or something. Upgrading that wide receiver corps even more, giving to pair along with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. This potentially has this one's interesting to me. I could see the Ravens either winning or losing this. Losing in the fact if we get into a high scoring shootout, if the defense starts struggling and those wide receivers get hot. But I could also see this win if we can hold down the fort on defense, and this could be a blowout. I think 2 options: Ravens blow them out in a victory, or lose a heartbreaker. I'm actually going to go out on a limb here, and I say the Ravens dominate this team. It's Geno Smith. I know he's better. They've done pretty well against Geno Smith in the past. And I know he's on the Jets and blah, blah, blah. I think the Ravens take this pretty handily. And surprisingly struggle on offense this game. I think we shut down Kenneth Walker. I think we take this game 27-7.
Okay, that's a bold one. I agree with you though. I think we can pull this one out. Only thing is, I think with the Seahawks, I think it might be a little bit more difficult with them. I mean, they're such a what's the word I'm looking for? They're such like a twitchy team. You know, it's like they're on and then they're off. It's like it's no in between with them. It's like it's literally they're clicking or it's like, dude, we just suck. So like I think we win this game. I'm gonna step it up a notch. I think we win 27-17. I think Gino, tries to get them down there as much as they can, especially with the weapons that they have with JSN, with Metcalf, with Lockett. I mean, I think these guys can be an issue for us, but I think it's an issue that we can handle. So I got us winning 27-17.
Okay, nice. Then week 10, we've got our rematch at the bank with the Cleveland Browns. So Ravens take this one. I think they get their revenge after losing in Cleveland week 4, in my opinion. I think that they get the job done. Todd Monken's offense is fully gelled by now. And assuming Lamar Jackson is still healthy, please. I think we can take care of business and drop some points on this team. I really do. I think after struggling on offense, putting up only 14 and a 20-14 loss early in the season, I think we go back and we drop 34 on their heads and take a commanding victory, 34-20.
Okay. I mean, I'm right there with you. Again, the Browns don't scare me. Watson hasn't shown me anything. He hasn't shown me that he can fully lead this team to the promised land yet. I mean, I have the Ravens, again, making work of it. I got to sweep in the Browns this year.
Love it.
If Lamar stays healthy, I don't really – Deshaun hasn't showed me anything yet. When he shows me something and he shows me that he's the old Deshaun Watson, I'll be a little bit scared. But until then, I got to sweep in the Browns. I don't really think, they compete with us this year. They might – I feel like they're kind of I feel like they're probably last in the division, and then Steelers, they're above them. So I think they'll finish last. So, that's quick work.
Good. I love it.
Yeah.
So what are they now for you? Are they not?
What is that, 10-1? What are we, week 9-1? What week are we in?
10. So 9-1.
Yeah, so 9-1 for me. Yeah. My one loss is from the Lions, who I feel like are going to get us. We're going to get us.
I'm at 8-2 right now. Brett losses to the Bengals and the Browns. All right, week 11 brings us back to the Bengals. Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. At the bank again. First and only primetime game in Baltimore. So Bengals rematch. They lost week 2. I think they take this one too. I think that now we're starting to come together and see how dynamic this offense could be. Like I just said the previous week, I think we can get into a high-scoring affair with this squad, and I think that we can win 30 or not quite 30. Let's do 27-23. Thursday Night Football. Ravens pull out a nail-biter with a fourth-quarter touchdown to take the lead.
Okay. I think I got us dropping this one to the Bengals late on primetime. I think the Bengals, especially because it's getting close to that crunch time later in the year, with playoff seeding and things like that, I think they get it. I think they get us. I know we're going 1-1 against them. I want to say we'll sweep them, but I'm not confident that we will. Now, I think early in the year, we're starting off hot. I think we can take them, but latter part of the year, I think they overtake us in a nail biter, as you say. I don't think they blow us out, especially if Lamar's still playing and he remains healthy. But yeah, I think the Bengals. We lose to the Bengals in primetime at home, I think, in my opinion.
Okay. So Dom and I both have us going 1-1 with the Bengals, just flipping the games essentially. Yeah. All right. Then we get a 10-day break since it's Thursday Night Football, and then we return in week 12 on Sunday Night Football at the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, this could be a very, very entertaining game because, the Chargers can put up some points. You don't know what you're going to get, but I think the Ravens are going to pull this one out as well because, the Chargers just find ways to lose at the end, and I hope they continue that trend when we play them as well. I'm picking the Ravens to win this one. I think they can put over 30 on this team. I'm going to say 33-20. 33-20.
Okay. Yeah, I think we made the Chargers, I mean, after that embarrassing loss to the Jaguars.
Yeah.
After that loss to the Jaguars in the playoffs, I mean, it's hard to be scared of them. It really is. And the funny thing is we should be scared. I mean, Herbert he's not a scrub. Keenan Allen's not a scrub. Mike Williams not a scrub. I don't know if Austin Eckler is going to be on the roster because he wants to trade. So, I mean, but I mean, that one season though, where we weren't playing as well, they were our one blowout that season. I don't know what season that is. My memory isn't serving me well, but in that season, we kind of blew them out, and it
21.
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So we blew them out, and it wasn't pretty. And that was our one good game that season. Every other game was but they can't really beat us. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like these past couple times we played them, they have not been able to beat us. So I'm gonna keep that record going here. I say we drop the Chargers 35-21.
Okay. And I'm hoping the defense can prove us wrong because we've having a lot of teams score over 20.
Yeah, no,
I'm
seriously.
offense can take off. I really am
Yeah.
because we need to score. We both right now are having faith in you, Todd Monken. Please bring life to this offense. We want to score over 30 again on a regular. Please, please, please. All right. Then we have our bye week, and we return in week 14 on December the 10th against the Rams at 1 o'clock at the bank. This one is going to be a little sloppy. I think the Ravens come out a little rusty after the bye, and they struggle a little bit. But the Rams, they are still, not where they want to be. He's trying to rebuild with very few draft picks. I think the Ravens win a tough and ugly, gritty game, 16-10.
Yeah, I think this one is going to be it's a question mark on this one. And that's because, one, I don't know who the Rams are right now. And
Yeah.
when I say that, I mean, obviously they battled so many injuries last year. Stafford was out for pretty much all year. Kupp was out for like a latter part of the year. I mean, I think Donald was out too. Donald was out too for most of that year last year. I mean, we don't know what this team is right now. So I can't really say for full confidence that we're going to like dust them. But I mean, if they come back clicking on all cylinders like they did their Super Bowl run, it's gonna be trouble. But as far as opinions for right now as to what I think we will do, I think we win this one, but I think we win it by a last-minute touchdown. I think it's tied 21-21 in the fourth, and Lamar takes us down the field to get a game winner. So I think we win 28-21. Actually, well, 24-21. It's like, it's probably we're gonna have to rely on Tucker. Probably, I think, for this one.
All right. Nice. And now we're going to week 15. So we are back on Sunday Night Football at the Jaguars. Ooh, another rematch with this team who pulled off a crazy upset last year on the Baltimore Ravens. This one, I don't know. This one was tough for me because you just don't know. I feel like this game would be much easier to predict by like the middle of the season or even like the first 4 weeks of the season because you'll have I feel what the Jaguars are going to be. I can't even say that because they started at 3-7 last year and they went on this big run and made the playoffs. You got to give me to week 10 and I can easily predict this game. I think I'm going to go off to the fact that they're kind of building their young team up. I'm going to say that we get beat on Sunday Night Football. We got to get some losses out of our system. And we continue over this little rusty trend. We got to get back in shape because I feel like the Ravens might think they're on top of the world going into the bye at 9-2 or whatever, and they got to wake up. And I think Lawrence lights up our D again, and puts up 30, a season high, 30 points, and we lose this game by a little bit larger of a margin, 30-17. And this would serve as a wake-up call for this team. It's playoff time. We need to wake up. We got a huge Christmas game coming up the following week against the Niners. Let's wake up as we approach this and approach the playoff run.
Okay. I think we get the revenge on Jacksonville, and the reason why I say this is because I feel as though we learned from the mistakes that we made last year. Now, I can't say the fact that Lamar wasn't there because we obviously know he was in that game. We all know that huge bomb he threw to Deshaun Jackson in that game. But I think we come out on top against Jacksonville. Mind you, this is not any slap at Jacksonville. Obviously, they're a team to be reckoned with in the AFC. Lawrence has come alive. They're getting Calvin Ridley back this year because they signed him, but he was suspended, so now he'll be able to play a full season. So that adds another weapon for Trevor Lawrence with Christian Kirk, with Zay Jones, I believe that's his name, with ETN in the backfield, Evan Ingram. I mean, this is a dynamic offense, and they've shown it. I mean, they've shown how they can put up points in bunches quickly. The Chargers are witness to that. But, I mean, I think we get our revenge on them this year. I think the Ravens remember that comeback last year. They're not happy with it, and this is the year we're like, okay, revenge. We get it. So I got the Ravens winning this one.
Nice. Then we move to week 16, Christmas Day, Monday Night Football special at the 49ers. This one is a really nice matchup on paper, like very exciting. Like people were saying, I read some articles, this is a very, very, exciting game to look forward to for Christmas Day. And I think the Ravens drop this one too. I think they go on a tiny skid here and they lose this one by not too many. I would say 24-17, a defensive slugfest, a little, sort of. The Ravens struggle on offense, so not a complete slugfest. You know what? I'm going to change it. I'm going to say 21-10 Ravens, or 21-10 Niners. I think the Ravens struggle on offense this game against a tough 49er defense. Can't get the ground game going, can't throw the ball too well. Lamar gets sacked a lot. And I think this serves as, a double wake-up call, like, oh my gosh, we gotta start building some momentum, which I think they will. I'll explain that when we move on to the next one. But I think the Ravens drop this one 21-10 in an ugly offensive showing on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna spoil our Christmas.
But
yes, they're gonna spoil our Christmas. I'm right there with you on that one. I think they drop this one. But I mean, it's hard to predict this because, again, we don't know who the Niners are right now. And by I say that again is I don't know who the quarterback's going to be. Like, they have Trey Lance. Jimmy G, he's with the Raiders right now. Brock Purdy, I don't know when he's going to be back. I know he had that injury. He said he might not be able to play this year. I mean, will Lance stay healthy? I mean, I know they signed, what's his name? Sam Darnold. I know they signed Sam Darnold to a 1 year. So, I mean, if depending on who that quarterback is, I mean, I think we have a shot. I think for right now, as far as I'm concerned, that defense is no joke. We've seen what they can do, especially during the regular season. Definitely, they were a top 3 defense in the league last year. But I think we dropped this one to the Niners. They're going to spoil our Christmas after we opened our gifts, which is going to suck. But I have us losing on Christmas.
Yeah. How you doing tonight, Logan? Glenn is fired. Not sure what you mean. Can you clarify that for us? Next, we go to week 17, New Year's Eve at 1 o'clock. We get our revenge or a rematch with the Miami Dolphins. Now, this game, we all know what happened in that dreadful week 2 matchup last year when the Ravens blew a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter and lost to the Dolphins. Terrible. I don't even want to think about it. This game, I think we get back on track. Now, this matters when this is played. This is played in December. It's cold. The Dolphins may struggle a little bit because of it's cold, because of the cold weather, since they're a warm weather team playing in Miami and all that. I think the Ravens get back on track, get revenge on this team, and they go back to a nice offensive showing, a nice rebound game for Lamar Jackson. I think they win this one 30-13. They keep Tua Tagovailoa in check. They keep Tyreek Hill in check. They're not going to let him go crazy again, or Waddle. I think they correct their mistakes and get a nice, decisive victory to get themselves back on track. Ravens take it 30-13.
Yeah, I think Ravens take this one too. I don't know if we win by that large of a margin because, it's us. But I think but as far as this concerned, I think I have us winning 24-21. I think it's going to, again, come down to a Tucker kick. The Dolphins, I mean, when the Dolphins start becoming explosive, I mean, it's just hard to contain 2 of the fastest players in the league. I mean, we've seen it happen firsthand. But it's also going to depend on Tua's health. We don't know if he's going to stay healthy for a full season. I mean, he was out last year, so they had to run with Skylar Thompson. And, I mean, shoot, Skylar Thompson almost led them to a freaking win against the Bills last year, which is
Wow.
mind-blowing to me. But, yeah, I mean, I think the Ravens take this one as well. I think it's a close one. I think the Dolphins will give us a little run for our money, but I do think that we're going to come in there wanting that revenge because, I mean, they came back on us pretty quick last year, and it was not pretty. But I think we take a 24-21.
Okay. And then we finish off the year, Week 18 at home against Pittsburgh. They don't have the time yet because we don't know who's going to do that, or we don't know what this game's going to mean for playoff implications. So we'll get all that as we get closer to that date. Now, this one, I think we sweep Pittsburgh this year. I really do. I think we split with the Browns and the Bengals, and I think we can really sweep this team. It's a slugfest, but I think we come through at the end and win the game 17-10, punch our ticket for the division. I think we can win this division if we can finish with a record that I believe we predicted. I think my final prediction was 13-4, and yours was same thing. I think
it was 14-3.
Yo, you had 3 losses. I had 4.
Yes, because this Pittsburgh one is going to be my final loss.
Okay,
for the season.
So you only
I think
there. You sure?
Yeah, because I had us losing to the
40?
Lions, and I had us losing to the Niners, and then I'm saying we're losing to Pittsburgh.
Okay,
in this last game of the season. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so 13-4 to finish the year. I think that's enough to take the division with some tiebreakers over the Bengals. First time sweeping Pittsburgh in a while. I think we take this one 17-10, slugfest.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, we made quick work of Pittsburgh for the first game, but I think Pittsburgh, you know how Pittsburgh loves to pick it up at that later end of the season. You know Tomlin, he's not going down like that to get a losing record. As long as you have Mike Tomlin as your coach, I feel as though you're never really out of it. So, I mean, as far as this game, I think the Ravens lose this game to end the season off. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But again, with Mike Tomlin as your head coach, I mean, he's one of the best coaches to ever coach football of our generation. And so, I mean, I think the Ravens lose this one in a close one. If I had to give a score, I'd probably say we lose most likely 17-14. Steelers take it 17-14.
Yeah, and again, these are our opinions. We're probably going to be completely wrong with everything, meaning that the Ravens might not score 30 on any of these games. They might stay in the 20s. They might win some that we think. I hope Dom's prediction is right because I really, as a Ravens fan, I really love his. It would be awesome to go 15-3 and take the 1 seed or something. Oh, man. But, yeah, all these predictions in mind. Sounds like both of us, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you and I are both predicting a dominant offense from this team. Todd Monken's going to come in and change things, get us back to what we used to do a couple of years ago in 2019 and 2020, moving up and down the field, scoring lots of points. I think that Todd Monken could do this. A philosophy change is what we needed. And we've been saying it all year. The Ravens have changed their philosophy as, at least for this year, about how they do things, paying people lots of money, going out and signing veterans, doing what they need to do to improve this offense as opposed to just hoping for the best with these low draft picks. I love what we're doing. And, I think that this defense can do enough and build on what they did last year with Roquan Smith. I think this team has the makings to get at least double-digit wins. So their ceiling would be, what Dom said, 15-2 or 15-3, or no, 15-2, because there's only 17 games. What am I talking about? I feel like a floor would be 10-7. That would be their low point. I think this team's too talented to get more than, or to get anything shy of 10 wins.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Yeah, I think our lowest point would be like 11-6. I think our high would probably be 14-3. That's where I'm looking at in terms of like wins and losses. I think this is going to be a great year. I think that we start off the year hot. I mean, obviously we'll have our hiccups, but I think we're going to learn from last year, especially with our new staff, and then we just keep on moving from there. So I think, this is going to be a big year for us.
And obviously we think that Lamar is going to stay healthy as well.
Please
make it to 13-4 without Lamar Jackson.
yes.
So, or else I'll have to add a couple more losses to the column. But yeah. I think that we gave pretty good predictions. I hope that we're right. That would be great if we were. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna wrap up. Sorry, it's a little bit of a longer video. But we thank you guys for tuning in as always. We're back to normal on schedule. We'll be back each Sunday night at 7 p.m. right here. So yeah, we're gonna keep pumping out the content as we get through the summer. I know that we're kind of in that dry spot for football now. Not much happening until training camp in July. I know we got OTAs coming up, and we'll be on top to give you all the